As Dr. Scott said just now, our first leadership symposium focused on leading through the process of change, and the second one on motivation in the 21st century, and this current one focuses on forward thinking and your organization. Albert Einstein said in the early 20th century, more than anything else, this new century demands new thinking. We must change our materially based analysis of the world around us to include broader, more multidimensional perspectives. In the 21st century, we want to claim this new century demands forward thinking. Before the speakers talk fully about the concept of forward thinking, I would like to mention the key words of forward thinking: past events, current knowledge, anticipation, possibility thinking, and intuition. The first speaker on forward thinking this morning is Mr. Scott Sawyer, Doctor Fellow of the ALPA Department.
Good morning. I'd like to again thank everyone for taking time out of your busy schedule to attend our symposium this morning. And there's a few logistical issues. I'm here. The screen is 30 feet that way. So if you're facing me, you may want to reposition your seat because there is some things on the screen, and I'll be showing a short video later. During the practice run through yesterday, I found out something new, that I need glasses. So I went home last night and I had to practice this presentation several times because basically I had to memorize everything. I can't use this as a backup because I can't see it. But the topic of our symposium is forward thinking in your organization. And for my portion of the presentation, I'm going to be defining forward thinking and then giving you some examples of forward thinking implementations. And Daniel Gilbert, a professor of psychology at Harvard University, had the following statement. He said, the human being is the only animal that thinks about the future, and that the human being is an anticipation machine, and making future is the most important thing it does. We define forward thinking as using past events and current knowledge to anticipate what's coming next through a combination of both possibility thinking and intuition. On the front end of the symposium, I want to point out to you what forward thinking is not. Forward thinking is not futuristic thinking. It's not about expressing a vision for the future or being ahead of the times. For example, architects for years have been dreaming up futuristic designs, and the idea is that individuals aren't satisfied with the status quo and they're always looking for the next big thing. So architectural companies have been incorporating these futuristic designs in their brand message in an attempt to stay ahead of the curve. Another example of a futuristic architecture, this is actually an indoor golf arena in the Netherlands. And several Dutch companies came together in 2010 to develop this arena, and they wanted to give it a futuristic look and feel. It's a cocoon-like look and feel, if you'll notice the pure white frames and the large glass openings. It also looks like it would be a neat place to visit because in addition to the golf arena, it has a golf shop, a restaurant, and a 4-star hotel attached. We've also all seen futuristic concept cars. Car companies for years have been paying their best engineers to come up with these radical and exotic designs. The issue is most of these cars never make it to the production line. And the reason for that is they're so futuristic in their design and they're so ahead of the curve that it makes mass production either not feasible or almost impossible. But car companies develop these concept cars to gauge customer reactions to the new radical designs. I also want to point out that forward thinking is not visioning. And it's not about a vision of how to get to a planned input or conclusion. We've all worked, or we currently work in companies or institutions that have a vision. And I've listed a few examples up here. Microsoft's vision is a personal computer in every home running Microsoft software. Walmart's vision statement is that they want to be the world's largest retailer. And East Tennessee State University's vision is to become the best regional university in the nation. So once these companies set a vision, then everyone works to that vision. But forward thinking is more about intuition. It's more about tapping into your senses, using past knowledge and leveraging current experiences to anticipate what's coming next. So what I want you to leave this slide with is forward thinking is more about intuition and anticipation. It's more about that than it is about a vision for the future. Now earlier I gave you an example of futuristic architectural design, and now I want to speak about a forward-thinking design. Several technology companies came together and developed this smart home. It's just outside of Las Vegas, Nevada. And in this home, everything in the home is connected either through a wired connection or a wireless connection. And what this allows the homeowner to do is manage everything in the home with their tablet. And this is actually the iPad application. And they can not only manage everything in their home while they're at home, but they can manage everything if they're 300 miles away on a business trip or on vacation. And this is actually the energy management application that allows the homeowner to monitor all their appliances in real time and see which appliances are using the most power. They can get daily and monthly reports showing which appliances and which rooms in the home are consuming the most power per kilowatt hour. And some of the larger homes, like say a 5,000 square foot home in this area, may have multiple HVAC zones in the house. You may have a 3-story house that has 2 to 3 thermostats per level. And so when you want to change the temperature in a home, you have to run around, and you've probably done this in your house, to all the thermostats and change every one of them. What this application allows you to do is change and monitor all those thermostats from your iPad. The other application in this smart home is you can control all of the lighting. You can open and close and raise the blinds. You can control all of your audio and video equipment. For example, if you're on vacation and you want to set your DVR to record your favorite show, you can do that. And if you're lucky enough, which I'm not, to have a pool and spa, you can not only adjust the water flow, but the temperature of your pool and spa remotely. And there are several more applications. I just pulled out a few. And the last one I wanted to show you was a security application. And with wireless cameras mounted throughout the house, when you're away from the home, you can monitor all the rooms in your home with real-time video feed to make sure your home is safe and secure. So that's just an example of a forward-thinking implementation. Switching gears back to the organization, most individuals in the organization are concentrated on what is versus what will be. And if you think about your organization or institution in which you work, most everyone in the organization is working to the current program. They're working to the current budget or the current schedule. And a term that's overused a lot, most everyone is working inside the box. And this isn't any fault of the employee. It's human nature to work to what you're measured to. And for, merit increases or advancement in the company, most individuals are measured to the current program, the current schedule, and how well they perform to the current budget. But what organizations need is they need individuals in the organization that are responsible for working outside this box, that are responsible for working out ahead of the business plan, looking for new destinations and new challenges. A lot of individuals in the organization look to senior management to be the forward thinkers, but a recent study has shown that that senior managers only spend about 3% of their time in a forward-thinking mode. And the reason for this is their time is consumed with travel, with dealing with the day-to-day issues that come up in running the operations of a major corporation or firm. But what we need to look at is the forward thinkers don't necessarily need to be the CEO of the staff. They can be at any level in the organization. But we do need to have forward thinkers in the organization that consider themselves as, I am my organization's futures department. And these individuals need to be consumed with reading about, thinking about, and talking about the long-term view. Now, earlier I gave you an example of a futuristic concept car, and now I want to give you a forward-thinking implementation. The University of Michigan Transportation Research Institute, UMTRI, is working with the U.S. Department of Transportation to develop a smart car. And the idea behind the smart car is your car would have a wireless device installed in it, similar to the modem that you use in your home, wireless modem in your home, that would allow your car to communicate with other cars on the roadway. It would also allow your car to communicate with traffic lights, with other roadside devices, and even the roadway itself. And what this will allow your car to do is, if there's a car braking in front of you unexpectedly, it will warn you. If you're traveling to a dangerous intersection and there's a car coming to the intersection and there's potential danger, it will warn you. If there's a lane closure or a disabled vehicle on the side of the road, it will give you a warning, and it will even give you alternate routes to go around those obstacles. And also, with the roadway, if there's ice on the roadway, it will even inform you of that. And the key to this, and what we're going to get out of this, is it's going to save thousands of lives when they get this implemented. And right now, UMTRI is conducting a pilot study in Ann Arbor, Michigan. They've wired 3,000 cars with these devices and several traffic lights highlighted on the screen. Okay, so I've given you a couple of examples of forward-thinking implementations. We've looked at a smart home and a smart car. And one thing I'd like to point out is, although both of these examples have been technology-centric, forward thinkers in your organization can also focus on administrative issues. They can make a change to a procedure or process that's been in place for years that could have a dramatic effect on the success of your organization. And in closing, I'd just like to point out one other thing, that motion and direction are key byproducts in establishing these new destinations. If your organization has no particular goals or its aims are undefined, it's hard to have a viable strategy or strategic approach. You need individuals in the organization that are able to see the big picture, that are able to recognize the trends and patterns, because the twists and turns that the world will take are not only embedded in past experiences, but they're also embedded in the present. And you need individuals in your organization that are paying attention to the little things, that they are in tune to recognizing these patterns that point to the future. And once the destination's been set, strategies can be devised to point your organization to a pathway to success. And with that, I'm through, and I'd like to thank you for your time, and I'll turn it back over to Daniel.